Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Stephanie, the creative girl behind the designs. If you're stopping by my channel for the first time, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notification alerts so that you know when I post my next video. So in today's video, I am going to be setting up these sheets from the monthly layout. They are the daily tasks. I've done a few ideas on these in the past, and I'm going to bring a new idea to the table that may help you as you navigate your monthly layout happy planner. So stay tuned. Okay, so today I am going to be using my October monthly daily task pages from my planner to set up a new idea I decided to work with, and just to kind of see how it goes, and hopefully it turns out perfectly. So it also happens to be National Stamping Month, so in keeping that in the forefront of my mind as I planned out these sheets, I'm going to be pulling in some ink. We're going to do some stamping. And I've got a variety of stamps. These are all from Cocoa Daisy. They came from the kits. And I like to use them because they're the perfect size for, you know, happy planner if you're working within a small space or in journals. And the stamps work really wonderful. So I've got those, set those off to the side. I also pulled in my Rainbow Boxes book. So you may have heard me in a past video talking about my colorful boxes and how much I love them. And I made this request to Happy Planner that, you know, if you hear me, make a whole big book of these boxes. Well, lo and behold, and this goes to show how much I've shopped for stickers lately. There already existed a book, I just didn't know about it. So here it is. This is the Rainbow Sticker Book, Colorful Boxes. So I'm going to pull some things from here as well. I, of course, have some Tim Holtz Distressed ink. This is the black soot color. And then, of course, I've got some stamping blocks, depending on which size I use or what stamp I'm using for the size. You can use either one of these because the beauty of them being clear is you can see where you're stamping. So it doesn't matter what size you're using, but sometimes I like to use a smaller size. It just gives me more ability to keep control of where it's going. So I've got those. And of course, I've got some stamp cleaner off to the side, which I will periodically clean my stamps. As you know, I am a clean crafter. So I am going to move this out of the way. So I've got these two pages. So these are, now there's actually another page in between this, but I took that out because I use it for different, as you know, I paste together pages. So I was using it for a different purpose, so it got pasted together. So this is the daily task list that comes out of the monthly layout Happy Planner. And I've previously showed some ideas on how to use them because they're just so versatile. You know, there's the pro list people, and then there's the, you know, con list people. So there are just some people who love to work off of lists and some who don't. Personally, I don't see to-do lists as a negative. I see it as in, if I'm creating a to-do list on Monday, that is the list I work off of to get my tasks done. But I don't, if I don't finish it, I don't like go crazy about it. All I do is I filter to the next day. I don't rewrite it because the next day will have new lists. But all I do is keep in mind that this list is undone or portions of it, and I may get back to that if there's breaks here. So that's how I manage everything with a list. I am a list maker. On that note, I'll also be introducing some other fun things this month, so stay tuned. All right, so I'm planning on doing a little bit of stamping, a little bit of possibly Tombow markering and things of that nature. So I am first going to, let me move these aside. Oops. I am first going to white out these two headers. Okay, so the reason I want to white them out is because I'm going to put a sticker over them, and do something different in there. So I'm going to just go ahead and white this out. I don't know if I'm going to take the line out. I don't think I am, because I think it's going to get in the way of my idea. So I may have to leave it and just kind of work with it. So I've got those covered. And I'm going to bring over. So this book, let me just give you a quick flip of this book. There is so much goodness in here because, well, they're boxes. Rainbow colors, all the colors. Look at copper, rose gold, silver, gold. I mean, there's just so many options. There's rainbow colors. Just look at them all. And then even over here, there's more. There is more boxes. These are more pastel, so that's perfect for lighter spreads. This little paper's slipping on me. Look at that. Oh, even like a coffee color or a very faint neutral. Very nice. And then, of course, your neutral black. So for this one, I'm going to be pulling out, I already marked my page, and I'm going to be pulling out these orange boxes because I want to kind of, so if you have followed my past videos with these for October, my currently page was purple and black. My monthly layout, the October month, was orange and black. And then my monthly dashboard was purple and black. So now I'm going to make these, which are the next pages, orange and black. So it kind of just follows a theme. As you know, I like my themes. And I'm going to put one of these boxes over here. All right. Get my tweezers out. I kind of have everything in the picture at the moment, so I think you're able to see. Let's see. Let's get this one in. And you know, we're back where we are, back to some warm weather. So, I mean, hey, I'm a fall loving girl, so I was a little disappointed about that. Okay, so that one's going to be for that. Now, this page over here, I needed to look at my stamps because, now I won't have a stamp necessarily that is this big because I don't think I saw one, but there should be one, right? I'm going to stamp October over here. So let me just quick check and make sure there was not a larger orange box, which would make sense. There's that one, but that's not, this one's better, right? Let's measure. Okay, so let me get this out. And the beauty of these stamps, especially like now, if I'm trying to measure for this particular spot over here, is I can pull the stamp out and I can just set it right on the sticker page and I can kind of get an idea if it's going to fit. So this one barely fits. And then the other one was this one. Again, barely fits. There was this one, but it's going to go out of the line, which isn't terrible. So that's an option. And then let me just make sure there's not any other longer ones maybe. So these are the shorter ones. Okay. So those are my options. All right, so it's definitely not going to fit in here. I think probably the best option would be this longer one here. Yeah, I really like the feature about being able to see what I'm going to be putting down before I even put it down. Okay. So that being said, my month is going to be much longer. So I think I'm going to have to clear more of this line out. So let's see how far we got here. Because I know the line will show through and I can shorten this. So you can cut a portion of this off and then shorten it to however you want and then just put the pieces back together. But I'm not going to go through that hassle. I'm just going to work with what I got. So I need to go down to about there. All right. Good enough. Okay. Now that those are done, I am going to get to some stamping. And so this is going to go here, which it'll come outside of the box, but I'm not worried about that. I think that was the only October I had. I believe that's November. Well, there's this, but that's kind of small. Okay, that is the only one I have. So I'm going to set these over here because they are going to serve a purpose as I go further into this page, these two pages here. So I am going to get October stamped out, and that's when I need this longer block. All right. So let me get this onto the block. Now when I stamp, I'm just going to use a regular black color. And this particular block has grids on it. You can line it up to the grids. Like if you're doing letters and you're connecting the letters, you can use the grid for that. For this purpose, I'm not going to do that. And then let me get my stamp cleaner ready off to the side here. Okay. So once I stamp it, I'll go back and clean it off. All right, so we're gonna do, I don't even remember if I've used these stamps yet. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of ink. I actually think I'm gonna like the fact that it goes over the box. So with the stamps, as you know, you can layer it. You can make it as dark or as light as you want. You can also do what is called, let me get this stamped and I'll show you. Look how cute that came out. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to demonstrate on this piece of scrap paper. All right, so let me re-ink it. I'm going to make it as dark as I can get it. Okay, so there's called second generation stamping, which is basically, here's your first generation, second, and third, and so forth. So when you hear that word, that's basically what it means. You're kind of, you know, making an ombre of the print or the stamping. Okay, so let's get this, let me get this out of the way. In this case, because I wanted to make sure it showed through the box and around the edges of the box, I did just first generation stamping. Easily comes off, you put it back in its packet. This helps to keep them nice, you know, you clean them off, because sometimes stamps can dry out after you ink and ink and ink. So it's always good to try and clean it off if you can. So I was debating about putting this here. I think that would be fun. So I think I'm going to do that. And for that, I'm going to use the smaller block. So I'm just going to get that on the block there. Let's ink this up. This is going to give it a nice bold look. Very nice. I love how when I use these stamps, I get a perfect stamp on the first time around. And I know some people struggle with the, you know, like stamping and getting it even and not splotchy. And it's not, I mean, you kind of have to do it regularly to get the hang of it, so to speak. But it's really not that hard. You just got to keep at it like anything else, right? All right, get that back in there. Now, for this one, I think I'm done. Yes. Okay, so as I use my idea, I'm going to put them away so that they're out of the way. Okay, so let me first talk about now what my idea is. And then you can kind of get an understanding of where this is going. So while October isn't, this is going to kind of carry over into the following months. This is a great time to do this because there's so many ideas to do, especially with the holiday coming up. So basically what I'm going to do with these 2 pages in October, and I will reference this back through November and December, is I am going to set this up as a kind of a YouTube video brainstorming. So basically I'm just going to section, so you have one of 2 ways. You can just literally go through the lines, write down any ideas you have, or you can take each section, because they are kind of sectioned off a bit, and make it by topic. You can make it by your playlist. So there's so many ways to be able to do this. You can make it by, especially at the end of the month, like upcoming holidays. So there's a number of ways to use this. And I think what I want to do for this purpose is use it based on the use it by section, because there's so many areas here. So I'm going to pull down this paper again. I just want to make sure I have a good orange. I also have not only some fun, great ideas coming up in video, I've got some great ideas going to be hitting the blog in the this week and then in the coming weeks. And then so you definitely want to stay tuned with that. And there was just so much more. I don't know what it is about the September, I kind of get thinking, and then come October, I'm like off like crazy, all these ideas. So what I'm going to do with this Tombow marker is I'm going to go above each section and give it a little bit of a highlight so that I know that section, what it's going to be for. I'm going to label it. I don't know that I'll label them today because I will be doing these as a variety of both my playlists and like holiday things. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it a swash of color. I'm not worried about, it being straight, it being aligned. I just want like a variety, organic feel sort of, So I'm just going to go through each section. And then now, because this is a Tombow color, it's hard to match, and I'll show you the mild liners. So let's see, here it is. Here's this orange that we're using, and then here's the mild liner. So they're not exact, but they're not terribly different either. The other option would be, I could do gray. Basically, I want to fill in this color with something, or this dot with a color, just because it'll kind of highlight that a little bit more, but I don't know that I want orange. I think that would be too much. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just give it a faint gray dot to all of the dots on here. And then we're going to keep going. Now, the nice thing too about these mild or color dots is you can build it, just like your highlighter. Like this one seemed light, so you can go back over it. You can give it a darker feel. So see how it darkened it in a bit? And I like it because it's not terribly light, but it's not orange either. I think that would have been too much. Okay. So it just gives it a little bit of color and highlights that dot a little bit more. So let's see, we've done that. Now, I did have an idea that it is a shame that there's a line here, but I think I can still make it work by using, let's see, I think I'm going to use a black felt pen. Okay, for those, I'm debating. I'm either going to use, they're both Papermate. I have a variety of these pens because I love that they give me a variety of color. Like if I want to write in color on here, I love these pens. So this is one of my favorite pens as well. And I'm either going to use, let me see. I feel like I just opened the door for you. Let's see. I'm going to keep it in this area just because this is the colors that I already have. All right, so I think this one might be a bit heavy for what I'm thinking. So, in a worst case, if this is too light, I can always take the thicker one and go back over it, or I can go twice with it over this. So what I'm going to create first is my plan. Whether it works out or not, I don't know. And as I said, I may need to white out this line, but if I do that, at the moment, I think like my stamping would get messed up. So I'm going to hold on doing that now, and I'm just going to do my idea. And basically what I'm going to do, I'll start on this side, is I'm going to create some loops or like a string to a banner. Okay, so you can kind of see where it's going at this point. And I'm probably going to use my little stamp block. Depending, I may even pull out a smaller one. Okay, so I'm going to put across my banner a mixture of pumpkins and leaves, and then I'm going to kind of add in some other decoration as well. Okay. Stamping. Everything is stamping because it is National Stamp Month. So I'm going to choose my Halloween pumpkin first, since it's the biggest. All right, so I think because it is the biggest, I need to figure out where I'm going to put this guy before I stamp anything. Yeah, I think I'll do those on the, because I have to make sure I keep my header, these little headers here, free. So I'm just going to grab this guy. And let's see. Let's put him on a curve here. How cute is he? Now the other thing, and I haven't used these stamps, these boo stamps anyway, another thing you can do to help out with your stamping, especially if the stamp is new, is just kind of run it across your skin just to get some of these super, super sticky parts of it off. All right. And then I have my little cleaner over here. I'm going to make sure I'm ready to go to clean off my stamp. Okay. So let's get this little guy on here in a few different places. Because this one's kind of big, there isn't a whole lot of places I can put it. But I'll get them in a few places and then we'll go from there. We'll just add here and there. And the other thing with your stamps is you don't want to press too hard because then you run the risk of pressing the stamp out or losing its image because you've pressed it too hard. All right, so this one, I think I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to put him here. All right. And, you know, I'm not going to worry about, you know, going all the way through. I've got so many stamps to choose from. I am going to put up a variety and not every spot will have one. So let's see, I'm gonna clean him off. And we're gonna pull this back out. Now, I am gonna use these stars. So I'm gonna kind of jump around a little bit. And as always, anything that I can link, I will link in the description box. Okay, so I pulled out my other smaller stamping block. And I think, at least for the stars, I'm gonna use, see how it fits perfectly? I'm gonna use that. How cute is this looking? All right. And all I'm going to do with this one is put some stamps here and there. And the nice thing about the stamps is that if you want to write in that area, you can still write in that area. Because you can write right through the stamp. It's not like a sticker where it sticks up. All right. And I'm only covering my stamp after each, or the ink after each one, because I am cleaning it. And my fan, my overhead fan is on, and I don't want to dry out the ink. So just as a precaution, I just kind of cover it back up again. All right. How cute. All right, so we're going to pull out, I think to make sure I have a variety of both, I'm going to go to this one next. So let me get this off. Also, too, as you're stamping, if you have the variety of sizes for the stamps, it just helps to give you a little bit more control, like, you know, where you're going, and not so, you know, clunky with maybe holding the bigger block. So I think this leaf I want to use will fit on, let's see. Yes, okay. So I'm going to put this back. And then since it's also fall, I'm going to kind of drop in a few leaves. And I think, let's see. So I decided to pull out my carved pumpkin, appropriate, oxide ink. And I think I want to do some of the leaves and maybe this orange. Let's give it a test first. Let's make sure it's a color that I like. It is a bit brighter, but I think that'll add a nice element. So we're going to do that. Because, you know, I don't like it to be one-dimensional. So we're going to do some orange leaves off of the garland. In fact, so if you're at a corner and you want to stamp, you can do this. So by having the paper there, I've now stamped only on my page and I didn't even hit the paper. Or my desktop, even more. Okay, so I'm just moving some things out of the way. So it's always good to have scrap paper around your workspace. So there's my carved pumpkin. Take my tester page out of there. All right. And then I'm going to go back to my Halloween one, and I got to switch blocks. I'm going to use a little bit bigger block. And I am going to use the, I think I can get these in here. Let's see. Yeah, I could get them in. I'm going to use some bats. So if you've done any stamping, you know, in the time that you've crafted and so forth, you have a lot of probably the wooden stamp blocks, and so do I. But I just love the clear because it's so easy to see them. You know exactly where you're putting them. You don't have to line anything up, you know, take hours or, you know, not hours, but far too long to line it up. All right, so this I want to get, let's see if I can get this. I'm probably gonna have to put it here. Okay. And I'm just gonna go through and get a variety of stamps into what would be the banner. And I think this one I was gonna do here. Yes. Okay. So this I need to flip back. And then I think I might add some washi down at the bottom when I'm finished, but I'm just gonna do a few more on here just because it's too cute. I love how this came out. Now, who wouldn't want to brainstorm with this, right? I love how this looks. We're going to add in some boo. All right. And I'm going to put this, since it's tiny enough, I'm probably going to put those, I only have a few other spots. All right, so we're going to put one here. And then this is probably the last one for over here. It's looking a bit crowded. Okay, we're gonna go with that. So I think what I wanna do is get one more pumpkin in because it's Halloween, right? But I'm not going to do a carved. I do have a small one, but I think I'm going to use one of those because, again, the space that I have to work in is not very big at all. So I still think that one might be too big. So let's try this one. Looks small enough. We'll see, I guess. Let's see, where was I doing this one? Over here. Yeah, it's going to be a tight squeeze, but this one I think I'm going to do in the carved pumpkin. And over here. This one's really tight. And really the line going across isn't terrible. I mean, I see it a little bit more here than over here, but I think I may just leave it. I actually like, there's this little quote. I don't know if you can see it. It's just wording. Let's see if I can, let's try this. So it's just this little quote here. And it has on there spooky, and it has like a description of spooky. So I think I want to use that at the bottom instead of the washi. Let's just go all stamps. Even though I probably have more than enough washi to use, we're going to use the stamp. Oh, we're going to do black, I think. Yes. Okay. The other thing about stamping is once you align it and you get nearer your where you want to put it, I'm just looking to see if I want to put that over here as well. I don't think I'm going to. I have a different idea. The other thing about your stamps is as you get nearer the paper and you get it all lined up, you're going to want to make sure that you commit. Ooh, and by that I mean it's one thing to kind of move it around, where do I want it, but once you get to that paper and one part of it in any way touches the paper, you need to commit to where it is. Because if you don't, then you get smear marks and, you know, streams of ink that, you know, obviously that's not what you want. So I'm going to put this back. And then I think we're done with this. I was just taking another final look. Okay. I'm not done with the page, but I'm done with the stamps. Alrighty, so we have our inks. And of course we have good old Jack over here with my candy. As you know, I shouldn't have candy in my office, but yet I do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring back over the thicker Papermate Flare in black. And I'm going to, for each page, I'm going to set this on top of Jack for a sec. I'm going to, for everywhere I have a banner item, I'm just going to do a few dots leading down to that, just to give it a variety. These are also great, at least so there's two kinds. There's the regular tip, or it's called medium, and then there's the ultra fine. So I like having both, and I have both of these sizes in all the colors, as you saw from my craft room tour, because I love markers and pens. And I use them for different reasons, as you can see. Okay, so, down here, I wanted to get in there. Let me see. As you know, off to the side, I keep nearby, when it is a seasonal thing, all the seasonal colors that kind of go with the theme or the vibe that I'm working on that month. Then they are right next to where I need them. I can grab them out easily. And then of course I had these as well. So because I was doing the, you know, purple and black and then orange and black, and this one is the orange and black, I think I'm going to try and stick with what I know was the color or the washi that was used on the last one. So I think I'm going to go back with this one. Let's bring these down a bit. Okay. Now I will have leftover of this washi, if I can get it started, because I am basically going to cut it in half. So I'm going to measure out what I need. I think I'm going to do the whole bottom. Okay. And then I'm just going to go down, and because there isn't much space, I need to take it down a little bit more than normal. So I'm simply tearing down the washi. Oops. And as you can see, it gets a little challenging the longer the washi is. I could do this. Another tip for you. Good old Jack's going to help me out. There. That's going to keep it steady so that I can rip down this whole strip. Okay. I'm not going to get rid of this other strip. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to move Jack out. Gotta go, Jack. Okay. So this one here is going to go on this side. Wow, that was a perfect cut. Not only in length, but in width. I mean, the width or the height of it was easier than the length, but yeah, that was perfect. Okay, so because I stamped on this side, let me get this one out of the way, switch sides here. I'm gonna pull back over this, and I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to get to this. Let me rip this a bit. I'm gonna get, now I don't need Jack because I only have a little bit here. I did, let's see, 2 rows. Then I'm going to take my scissors. It'll be a tight squeeze on this because it's such a small washi. I'm going to create a little banner pointing inward. So I don't think I'm going to need this anymore. Okay, so I'm going to just fold the washi in the opposite direction. So I folded it in half and the sticky parts are pointing outward. And then I'm just going to cut on an angle. And then I have a little banner for this side. I didn't make this side long enough, but that's okay. Actually, I'm going to take this to the end. All right, and then I'm going to use the other half of it. And again, I got to rip down to just 2 rows. Okay. I'm going to create the same angle on this side. And then get this one down too. All right. How cute is that, right? Let's see. I don't want this washi to go to waste. Let's rip it in half and let's give a little decoration in between each row. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. Ooh, good thing I checked that. Okay. All right. I think I'm satisfied. Look how cute this looks. And then what I'll do is I will write up here, it's going to be brainstorm or YT brainstorm, YouTube brainstorm. And then for each of the highlighted areas, once I decide on the categories I want to brainstorm, I will go ahead and write those in as well. Then it becomes just a list. And then if I do it, I check it. If I don't check it. Just another way to use your task list. So there you have it. I hope I've inspired you to do something creative today and every day, and that you create your beautiful life, one plan at a time. Thank you for watching.